Arjun was your average 16-year-old. He had a mop of unruly hair, a penchant for daydreaming, and a knack for getting into minor trouble. His teachers often described him as bright but distracted, a boy with potential yet to be realized. He lived in the bustling city of Coimbatore, a place where tradition and modernity coexisted in a delicate balance. The streets were always alive with the sounds of honking cars, street vendors calling out their wares, and the chatter of people going about their daily lives. Arjun loved cricket, spending countless hours perfecting his batting stance and dreaming of hitting the winning runs in a big match. But when it came to his chemistry exams, he was less enthusiastic, often finding himself lost in the labyrinth of chemical equations and periodic tables. He dreamt of spicy samosas, not of saving the world. His daydreams were filled with simple pleasures, playing cricket with his friends, enjoying his favorite snacks, and imagining fantastical adventures that seemed far removed from his everyday life. His life was a comfortable routine of school, friends, and family. He cherished the laughter shared with his friends during lunch breaks and the warmth of family dinners, where stories of the day were exchanged over delicious home-cooked meals. He knew the names of all the latest cricket players, their stats, and their signature moves. Cricket was more than a game to him. It was a passion that connected him to his friends and gave him a sense of belonging. But ask him about ancient warriors, and he'd draw a blank. History was a subject that seemed distant and irrelevant to him, a collection of dates and events that had no bearing on his present life. Life was simple, predictable, and dare he say, a little bit boring. The days blended into each other, each one a mirror of the last, with little to distinguish them apart from the occasional cricket match or school event. One sweltering afternoon, everything changed. The sun blazed down mercilessly, and the air was thick with humidity. It was the kind of day that made you long for the cool comfort of home. Arjun's class went on a trip to the ancient temple at the edge of the city. The temple was a relic of a bygone era, its walls adorned with intricate carvings and its halls echoing with the whispers of history. The air hung heavy with the scent of incense and jasmine, creating an atmosphere that was both serene and mysterious. The temple seemed to pulse with an energy that was almost tangible, a silent witness to centuries of devotion and ritual. Golden deities gleamed in the dim light, their eyes seeming to follow the visitors as they moved through the sacred space. Each statue told a story, a fragment of a larger tapestry that Arjun had never taken the time to understand. Arjun wandered off, drawn by an inexplicable pull towards a forgotten corner of the temple. It was as if an invisible hand was guiding him, urging him to explore the hidden depths of this ancient place. There, nestled amongst cobwebs and forgotten relics, lay a gleaming amulet. It was unlike anything he had ever seen, its surface etched with symbols that seemed to shift and change as he looked at them. It pulsed with a strange energy, a rhythmic beat that resonated with something deep within him. The amulet seemed to call out to him, its glow intensifying as he reached for it. As Arjun reached for it, the amulet sprang to life. It flew towards him with a speed that took his breath away, embedding itself on his chest with a jolt that sent shockwaves through his body. A rush of images flooded his mind, battles fought in the clouds, celestial beings wielding weapons of fire, and a prophecy whispered on the wind. Each image was more vivid than the last, painting a picture of a world that was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. He saw warriors clad in armor, their faces set in grim determination as they fought against forces of darkness. He saw celestial beings, their forms radiant with divine light, wielding weapons that crackled with energy. Arjun, the ordinary boy from Coimbatore, was anything but ordinary. The amulet had awakened something within him, a latent power that had lain dormant until this moment. He felt a surge of determination, a sense of purpose that he had never known before. He was the chosen one, destined to protect the world from an ancient evil. The weight of this revelation settled on his shoulders, but instead of fear, he felt a strange sense of calm. He knew that his life would never be the same again, and for the first time, he welcomed the change. The amulet, he learned, was no ordinary trinket. It was an artifact of immense power, a relic from a time long forgotten, imbued with the essence of the divine. It was the mark of Surya, the sun god, a symbol of light and hope, a beacon against the encroaching darkness, and it chose Arjun as his champion. This choice was not random. It was a decision rooted in ancient prophecies and celestial alignments. He was the reincarnation of a legendary warrior, destined to fight alongside the Devas, the celestial beings of Hindu mythology. These beings, with their ethereal presence and formidable powers, had been waiting for Arjun's arrival for centuries. The prophecy spoke of an ancient evil, Raksha, who threatened to engulf the world in darkness. Raksha was not just a mere villain, he was a force of chaos, a being of pure malevolence who thrived on fear and despair. Arjun's destiny was to defeat Raksha and restore balance to the universe. Arjun was terrified. The weight of this responsibility was overwhelming, and the fear of failure loomed large in his mind. He was just a boy, not a warrior. His life had been simple, filled with the joys and challenges of childhood, far removed from the epic battles and divine missions that now awaited him. He didn't know the first thing about ancient prophecies or celestial battles. The world of gods and demons was alien to him, a realm of myths and legends that he had only heard about in stories. He longed for his old life, for cricket matches and comic books. The simplicity of those days seemed like a distant dream, a stark contrast to the daunting reality he now faced. But the amulet throbbed on his chest, a constant reminder of his destiny. Its glow was both a comfort and a burden, a symbol of the path he was meant to walk. He was chosen, whether he liked it or not. The amulet's power coursed through him, awakening a strength and resolve he never knew he had. The prophecy was vague, filled with riddles and symbolism. It spoke in metaphors and allegories, leaving much to interpretation and requiring a deep understanding of ancient lore. It spoke of hidden temples and celestial weapons, artifacts of immense power that could turn the tide of battle. These relics were scattered across the world, waiting to be discovered by the worthy, of allies yet to be found and trials to be overcome. Arjun would not be alone in his quest. He would find companions, each with their own strengths and stories, who would stand by his side. Arjun realized he was at the start of a grand adventure, a quest that would test his courage and redefine his understanding of the world. This journey would be filled with perils and wonders, challenges that would push him to his limits and beyond. He was no longer just Arjun, the boy from Coimbatore. His identity had transformed. He was now a key player in a cosmic battle, a hero in the making. He was the chosen one, the warrior of light, and the fate of the world rested on his shoulders. The path ahead was uncertain, but Arjun knew one thing for sure. He would face whatever came his way with unwavering determination and a heart full of courage. The journey would be long and arduous, but with the amulet's power and the guidance of the Devas, Arjun was ready to embrace his destiny and fight for the light. Luckily, Arjun wasn't alone. In the midst of his daunting quest, he had the unwavering support of his friends. He had his friends, Maya and Ganu, by his side. They were more than just companions. They were his pillars of strength.
All right, Arjun, let's crack this prophecy like a tech challenge. We've faced tougher puzzles in our coding marathons. I've got ancient texts to devour and celestial databases to hack into. This is just another problem waiting to be solved.
Maya, a whiz kid with a smartphone for every occasion, took to the prophecy like a tech challenge. Her enthusiasm was infectious. She devoured ancient texts, deciphered cryptic clues, and even managed to hack into a few celestial databases. Don't ask how. Her determination was unwavering. Ganu, a loyal and lovable foodie, provided much-needed comic relief. His light-hearted nature was a breath of fresh air. He faced every challenge with a samosa in one hand and a joke on his lips. His humor kept the group's spirits high.
Hey Arjun, don't worry. We'll figure this out. Together there's nothing we can't handle. And if not, at least we'll have some amazing samosas along the way. We'll make memories worth cherishing.
Maya, with her sharp intellect and boundless curiosity, quickly became Arjun's strategist and tech support. She was always 2 steps ahead. She could access information with a few taps on her phone, making her an invaluable resource. Translating ancient Sanskrit scrolls and pinpointing hidden locations on her GPS, she was a modern-day treasure hunter. She was a walking encyclopedia of mythological creatures and celestial weaponry. Her knowledge was vast and impressive. Ganu, despite his initial skepticism, proved to be an invaluable asset. His unique perspective often led to unexpected solutions. His jovial nature and infectious laughter could lighten even the tensest situations. He was the glue that held the group together. He had a knack for stumbling upon hidden clues and befriending even the most intimidating creatures. His curiosity knew no bounds. His knowledge of local legends and his ability to charm anyone with a plate of his mother's samosas proved surprisingly useful. He was a storyteller at heart. Together, they formed an unbreakable team. Each brought their unique strengths to the table, creating a synergy that was unstoppable. Their journey was filled with challenges, but with Maya's intellect, Ganu's humor, and Arjun's determination, they were ready to face anything. They were more than just sidekicks. They were heroes in their own right. And so, with hearts full of hope and minds brimming with ideas, they set forth on their adventure, knowing that together they could conquer any obstacle. The prophecy was just the beginning. With Maya's tech-savvy skills, Ganu's light-hearted spirit, and Arjun's unwavering resolve, they were destined for greatness. And as they laughed and shared stories over samosas, they knew that no matter what lay ahead, they would face it together, as friends, as a team, as sidekicks turned heroes. Their journey led them to a hidden grove deep in the Western Ghats, where they encountered Vayu, the celestial bird and messenger of the gods.
With emerald plumage and a piercing gaze, I'm a sight to behold. I speak in riddles and soar through the sky with the grace of a dancer.
Vayu became Arjun's guide and mentor, leading him through the trials and tribulations of his destiny. Vayu was a creature of immense power and wisdom. He had witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the ebb and flow of time itself.
I have seen countless heroes rise and fall, their stories etched into my ancient memory. In you, Arjun, I see the spark of greatness, the potential to become a legend yourself.
Vayu trained Arjun in the art of combat, teaching him to wield the celestial weapons that were his birthright. He spoke of ancient battles and forgotten lore, revealing the secrets of the universe and the true nature of good and evil. Under Vayu's tutelage, Arjun began to embrace his destiny. He discovered a strength he never knew he possessed, a courage that burned brighter with each passing day. But time was running out. Raksha, the embodiment of chaos and darkness, was growing stronger. His minions spread across the land, sowing discord and fear. Raksha craved power, seeking to plunge the world into eternal darkness.
I seek to extinguish the light of knowledge, the flame of hope, and the spirit of humanity.
Raksha's motives were shrouded in mystery. Was he driven by vengeance, by a thirst for power, or by some ancient grudge against the gods? The answer, Vayu warned, lay hidden in the annals of time, buried deep within the heart of Raksha's fortress.
Arjun and his friends will have to face countless dangers, overcome treacherous trials, and confront their deepest fears to uncover the truth and defeat the forces of darkness.
Arjun knew that the fate of the world rested on his shoulders. He had to defeat Raksha, not just for himself, but for all of humanity. He had to protect the innocent, preserve the balance of the universe, and ensure that light triumphed over darkness. The task seemed insurmountable, but Arjun was determined to succeed. He had his friends, his courage, and the blessings of the gods on his side. He was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Arjun's journey was a fascinating blend of ancient mythology and modern science. While he trained with Vayu in the art of wielding celestial weapons, Maya used her tech skills to track Raksha's movements and decipher ancient codes. They navigated hidden temples using GPS coordinates and ancient star charts. They faced mythical creatures armed with smartphones and laser pointers. One moment they'd be deciphering ancient Sanskrit scrolls by the light of a flickering oil lamp. And the next, they'd be outrunning a giant fire-breathing serpent on Maya's souped-up scooter. They even managed to repurpose Ganu's drone into a reconnaissance device, using it to scout out enemy territory and deliver samosas to unsuspecting allies. This fusion of the ancient and the modern added a unique flavor to their adventures. It highlighted the relevance of ancient wisdom in a modern context, showing how technology and tradition could work hand in hand. It underlined the idea that even in a world dominated by science and technology, there was still room for magic, wonder, and the enduring power of ancient myths.